Oops! But here we go. Some things just happen. It's fine. I'll work it out later. I hope it doesn't detract from people watching the stream. That would be kind of nice. So I'm early on-comers, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Or if you're just tuning in from the beginning, even after it's public, yeah, sorry about that. I will be ready with you in a moment. Making sure all the facilities are ready. By all the facilities, I mean streaming this on both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously this time. Adjusting the camera just a little bit. Come on. If it's not up yet, just give me a minute. And then we'll get to where we need to be. Oh, Twitch, thank you for unsubscribing me to other people. Accidentally. Not live boulder, live build. That's more like it. Good. Camera face the other way. Camera face this way. And we should be good to go. I really hope this whole thing doesn't record it sideways. That would be a bummer. It's not supposed to. But it kind of looks like it might. All right. Welcome, everybody. Maniac for Bricks here with an impromptu live stream once again, building some Lego sets. This is one I actually picked up recently, so I can't really say it's been in the backlog for that long, all of like 2 days, really. But I did want to wait for a little bit, and I thought, hey, maybe it'd be good to do like an impression thing as I opened this box. I thought this would be good to do as a live build to give some impression about the Lego Dreamzzz sets. So I have so far the poly bag, which I've already reviewed on YouTube. You can check out a video about that. It was a very simple build, so I didn't really need to do a live stream for it. I just built it while recording the review of it, honestly. This one I know is going to take a little longer, but there's a little more that I want to go into with it. So let's try it out. I'm going to just adjust the camera here, table there, so that way we can see everything and I can still reach everything. Good, good. And I got my timer ready. Because for whatever reason, I have gotten into the habit earlier this year of timing how long it takes for me to build Lego sets. There are some of them that I have missed on timing, and I sometimes post about them through Twitter. Other times, I just have a photo of it saved, so I can always post about it later. I think it would just be fun in general as some later content or something. But either way, it's fine. So, this magazine was not part of it. I just brought this magazine up because I didn't actually get to read it yet about the Lego Life issue of Dreamzzz, the new Lego theme, an original Lego theme. For those not aware, This is not a licensed product. This is not based on any other existing material. This is something from the ground up, created by Lego for set purposes and multimedia things. So this is exciting on its own merit, because that doesn't happen that often. Every couple of years, I would say, at best, and doesn't happen as frequently as it used to back in like the 90s and 2000s. 2010s, you saw a little bit of it, but it was slowing itself down. But that's a story for another day. Yeah, I'll go through the magazine sometime later, because this is definitely jam-packed with stuff. Not just about Lego Dreamzzz, but also like in general, with its own plethora of stuff. This like free comic they include in here is almost as many. It almost feels as thick as the magazine itself. Like it's on a different kind of print of the pages. Kind of impressive, honestly. And hopefully, I will get to enjoy that sometime later, whether it's an own video or what have you. There may be some notification bleeps in the background, just making sure that my phone is still working, because I had some issues with it over the past 2 weeks, which means some things that I wanted to post or keep up with have been, problematic over time, but hopefully now it should be in good working order. I'm still going to try things out. They look like they're from a dream. I see what you did there. All right. Yeah, they literally sprinkle bits of Lego Dreamzzz. They have a hot air balloon built in here. Oh my gosh, I gotta build this for my friend. We went to a hot air balloon festival right before Brick Fair, Virginia. So I think that would be cool if I built this up for her. Or even different colors, different styles. Most of it I should have the parts for it. It's just a few things in certain colors I'm not sure about right now. All right, cool. All right, moving on. So I do want to have a video. I'd still have to work on the actual, like, putting it all together of footage that I had from the Lego Dreamzzz PJ premiere event at the flagship store in Lego Store, New York, 5th Avenue, Rockefeller Center. That was a cool event. I could talk about it briefly orally here. I don't, can't really show a lot of the footage throughout here. I also do apologize, since I have two cameras on opposite sides, one filming from Twitch, one filming from YouTube. I will have a little latency as far as reading comments, but bear with me. I will get to them as best as I can, as I can peek back and forth on each of them. So if there are any comments, Stud Studious, welcome to the stream, man. Been loving these dream sets. The Nightmare King fig is awesome. The parts are great for yeah, I do still want to get the Nightmare King. I just haven't decided yet if I want to get him in the Pegasus set or the big like boat one. I like both of those sets. I think aesthetically, the Nightmare stuff looks amazing. I think it works with the magenta coloring very, very well. The only problem that I have is the Pegasus set. I have to look at reviews again, because I didn't think it was going to be that posable when I first saw it, when I first saw images of it. And obviously the other set is more expensive, as good as it looks. And I have seen that set. I've seen a bunch of these sets in person at the Lego store, not just the flagship store, but also when I went to my local Lego store, they had them on display in a case. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one for right now. I do want to get the Z-Blob one and compare between them, because they are two $20 sets with a similar mech orientation to them. I would get the Gatekeeper as well for comparison, but I don't want to pay twice the price for what's not worth twice the price of a set, That thing is dumb. I really, really don't get why that one is specifically $38, $40. That's so poor decision. Do they want that set to fail right out the gate? I don't know. I really can't find the value of it. Even Brick Set, when they had a review posted shortly around the time that the sets were coming out, they didn't understand the pricing of it. So, first thing here, unboxing. We have numbered bags and nicely colored between them, so you can tell this is all the accessories that would go later that can be transformed. These are the ones that would build into the main model. The instruction manual, I know that the instructions have changed over the past few years where it's like, oh, they give you literally the same thing as the box art, which is fine, easier to find. Then they give you this stock footage that would mostly be for like the product on the website or something like that, just a white background or whatever. This time around, they give you the illustration. Okay, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I like that there's like a creative extra illustration of this character in action and like setting up the scene basically with the same kind of stuff. I like that. That looks very cool. Let's see. Get excited about our new packaging. Well, this is not the new packaging, so it didn't happen yet. I have not owned a Lego set yet for recent years that have the new paper packaging to them. They're still, at least in my area, still sending out ones with the plastic bags to them. Ooh, that is cool. Okay, so first page in, they also have this nice artwork. This is something I always like about Lego, especially for their IPs with their own like independent medium. They have some stellar artwork. Ninjago, I love the artwork on the trading cards. Hidden Side, the box art is not great as box art, but would make a great visual, like extra page in an instruction book, or as a as like a mini poster alongside it. It's good artwork, but it doesn't also work that well conveying the product. Many people have pointed that out, and I can agree to that as somebody who enjoyed Hidden Side. This is great. I like this already. Oh, okay. And there's even more illustrations for every page in the instructions. Wow. Okay. I'm going to flip through real quick. Yeah. They added more stuff. There's like this nice colorful background to these pages in different sections, things that you build in here. It doesn't have a progress bar like Monkey Kid and some of the Juniors themes. But okay. So when you actually get to the point of like, oh, which one do you use? They actually show you, go to this page or go to this page. It's like a choose your own adventure it's a Lego set with a choose your own adventure. Dang, that's fun. I like this. Oh man, I am excited for this. I'm so glad I'm capturing this live on camera. And for those, and even like with two cameras as well, just to get more into it. Lego Comics used to exist in some Lego themes, like Orient Expedition. Ultra Agents, I think, had some. They may have had it on the box or the instructions. I can't remember which. I know the original Agents had it on the box and then would use those visuals in the online game. I don't think they were ever in the instructions, though. But this is great. This is good having it here. I like this. Oh, man. I am genuinely hyped for this. So let's build it then. So far, I've only built the poly bag, as I mentioned before, which was a basic poly bag experience as far as presentation, pieces and everything like that. I've commended it because I just want to see Lego Dreamzzz do well, and I do think that there are good colors and parts in there, even though I think as a poly bag, it's not as great as an experience as other ones. Literally the same time that I saw that Dreamzzz poly bag in Walmart, I also saw next to it a Ninjago Age of Dragons poly bag that has almost the same number of pieces. Maybe like, I don't remember which one had more or less, but almost the same number of pieces. It's still in the 40s. 2 minifigures were included in the Ninjago poly bag. It's at the same price, and it's at the same release period. It's no brainer if that one does better or, sells that much sooner, because aside from Ninjago being an established theme, you have a poly bag with 2 minifigures, which doesn't happen all too often, whether or not from that theme itself. But it doesn't happen all that often in general. For $5. Like, of course it's going to do well. Ooh, hello, that new hair. The new like iridescent kind of coloring to it. I like that. I could easily see that go into a coral reef mock making up some floral detail in the background. All new parts as far as the sword, the hourglass piece, which is like a double mold, so it has like that sand layer in the middle of it as pearl gold, I believe. You got the pearl gold on the sword, as well as blue along the end of it. That looks very nice. It's very cool. Almost has a Lego Universe kind of vibe, which I like. I never actually got to play Lego Universe. I've heard about it. I remember when it was existing, but I never really had a chance to play the game itself. You got 2 expressions for Izzie. She's got double-sided printing as well as double-sided on the torso. Nothing really on the sides of the legs, just the continued lavender that's on, the boots, just going all the way around on the legs. That's fine. Yeah, the Lego store actually has a thing where, like, during the early part of the event, when I was at the PJ Premiere event, they had an early thing in there where you can wander around the store. There's a couple of activities all over, some handout things. I got 2 of the mini turtle van because one for me, one for my friend. I didn't know if they actually had the Mr. Oz space bus, but I saw the instructions at the front desk. So I don't know if they saved it for that event and then just took it away before I got a chance to it, or if they didn't use it for the event and they're going to use it sometime later. I don't know. I kind of wish I had more information about that, because I would definitely get into it if I knew it was available. I would have tried to get that as well, even if it meant getting 1 turtle van, 1 space bus. That would be fine. As far as what was I going to say? Oh, so I did wander upstairs, and they had the minifigure factory wasn't open yet. They said they would open at 10 o'clock. So pretty much at the end of the event. And yet they still had Dreamzzz things that were incorporated with the minifigure factory, where you print your own minifigure front to back, and you also have a 1x3 brick. You can print on one side something to say, and the other side says Lego Store in New York or something like that. I was a little disappointed because once I actually did try the minifigure factory, they only had like 3 designs that I could find, and only one of them was actually unique for a minifigure. The other 2 were just Izzie and Mateo's torso printing on a white torso, where it's like, oh, well, Izzie already has white arms, and it's going to look a lot better on the bright light orange that's already included in the sets. So I'm not going to spend $11, $12 on a minifig torso that I could get anyways in any other set. And I will, I'll get Mateo later. So cool that it's there, but not necessary. But I feel like eventually Dreamzzz fans may find that appealing and or more exclusive. I don't know. The Blob one, which my friend actually found and printed on the back of her torso for the minifigure, was cool, and I missed it. And when I saw that she was going to print that, I was like, dang, I wish I knew that. I would have done that too. So I basically just went with whatever was a store exclusive print that was in there. I think it was a couple of rainbows or something front and back. I changed the design, but yeah, it's fine. So the midi figure, micro figure, whatever we're calling it, has a little scar on him for the head. It is a standard minifig head connection. It has a 1x1 attachment on the bottom. It's very similar to like the bears from that one Merida set from Brave, and also has a room to attach. Also has room to attach anything with a bar element. The underarms of the hands, or the underarms, kind of work as a clip on each side. That'd actually be pretty cool if they brought that back as a thing. Like if they had a Disney princess set that included Merida again, and they use this body piece with it. Like something more than they would use in just the Dream sets, this is another application for it. And so I try to look for is like, what ways can you use this thing outside of the original purpose, Okay, so in the illustrations, they do show each of the characters, which is nice. For reference here, they start off with showing Izzie falling asleep and then building into this dream world, literally building, if I may. bringing the bunny to life, and then having the I don't know the name of this particular. I think it's just called a Grim Spawn. Doesn't have a particular name for this character of Grim Spawn. Just kind of standard minion stuff. Showing that it captures him, and then the next part where you're starting to build the actual large bunny, it shows an illustration where Izzie's using some of that hourglass to accentuate the creature, which is cool. I like that. This is a nice little, even without knowing the story of the TV show or any other material, if you just get the set, this was already giving you some of those pieces of information, some of that trickling in of, oh, that's these things going together. Okay, you start out with the character going to sleep, and this is all taking place in a dream. And then you have, it gets captured, and then you have the hourglass, showing that little stream going across it to make this large bunny figure. That works. I like it. I do want to see this theme do well. I don't want to see this theme... I don't really want a Ninjago killer. I don't want it from Monkey Kid. I never wanted it from Hidden Side. I just wanted them to get a fair chance. In the case of Bionicle G2, we had 1 and almost a half years, I don't think it was exactly 2 years, of set production and media production, because it ended midway through 2016, and it started January of 2015. That kind of stinks. that is a very short run. It's not that I want to see even back then, I didn't want to see Bionicle as a theme come back in full force, run forever or anything like that. I just wanted to see it tell the story that it needed to tell. And very much the same way with other themes like Hidden Side or Monkey Kid, or in a way Video, but not necessarily because there's a story to tell with Video, but rather get the variety that the theme was, going for. The problem is Video, in many ways, the problem with Video, I'm never going to stop talking about it, am I? Video to me is something that could have had more potential than what it was. And what it first offered was easy for people to turn off from it, because you have all these small but baseless, products. I hesitate to call them sets because there's really not much of a play experience with them. They're just, you assemble this thing and you point your phone at it, and most of the context is using your phone with it. So, it could have, if the sets with the stages came out in the first wave, even if it was 1 or 2 of them, I think the theme could have gone a lot better. It would have had a more palatable experience for people than what it already, what it actually gave us. Because then you could see they're not just a really expensive way to sell minifigures. It's, these are things you can play with inside and outside of an app experience, which is what Hidden Side did well, and somehow Video missed the boat on it. That's why I was happy to purchase the pirate sets from Video, not long after it came out, but not at full price either. I was I saved up some VIP points, I discounted that, and still bought it brand new, but, because I still believed in what this particular set was, and some of the other ones I thought would be a similar vein. I still would have liked a bit more out of the pirate set, though. If I'll be honest, I think, it's still essentially what those smaller sets were, the beatboxes and things, but at least it had a little more of a play experience to them. Like other things that could be moved around, but it also wasn't a full pirate ship either. I think it could have benefited if it had a little bit more to that. And didn't even need story with it, but I've basically been writing my own, not exactly fan fiction, but writing a story based off of the ideas of Video and not even have to be in a Lego context for over a year. in and out of time working through that, because I thought, yeah, there's actually a good idea here with all these thematic different bands and artists. I like that idea, and then I wanted to expand upon it in my own way. So eventually, hopefully, I will when other projects are put aside. Other projects such as Bizarre Lego, I'm going to continue shelling about that because it's still happening, and we are still half a month over of the campaign running. That's linked all around Kickstarter. You know where to find it, and if you don't, just let me know, and I will happily send you along the way. So, anyways, what I'm hoping out of Dreamzzz is that it lives the life that it needs to, that it tells the story that it's going for without being cut short. Technically, Bionicle was cut short as well, but it also had almost a 10-year lifespan. So the fact that the last year or two was like in the original run of Bionicle, the fact that the last year or two was a bit rushed and a little lackluster for sets, it doesn't bother me as badly as other later IPs. I'm glad that Monkey Kid is still going, but I don't like how it's less available in in this part of the world. In the US, it first was restricted as just, oh, it's only in the Lego stores and Lego Shop at Home. And then earlier this year, they only put it on Shop at Home. They no longer have it in the retail stores, even the Lego ones. And it's like, well, why? That's how I best knew not only of the sets being out, but like got a better sense of wanting those sets, that I got to see them in person, in the stores. So that was a bummer because, yeah, like most of the Ninjago or most of the Monkey Kid sets that I bought for the first year or two were in person at a Lego store. And I'm glad that the theme is still going, or at least I believe it's still going. We had a wave of Monkey Kid earlier this year. I don't recall if there's more sets like more recently, and I don't remember seeing anything for the August wave. So I don't know for sure. And then I'm just hoping that it stays as long as it needs to. Again, to tell the story that it's going for. Oh, I missed this thing. On both of them. Dang it, I didn't put the timer on. I forgot that. I just looked over at the timer and I'm like, hope it doesn't affect my time. Okay, so well, at least while we have the stream running live, I can still go back and check how long it took to build from start to finish. So my bad, didn't actually put on the timer as I thought I would. But yeah, as long as Monkey Kid is telling the story that it needs to and going through the plot points that it's supposed to be for, I'm okay with it. It's just now more difficult to get into the sets of them because they're not as widely released. Yeah, they were hard at first because it's only at the Lego store, but at least that was an option. And just having it only available on the Lego Shop at Home website isn't really doing a lot of favors. It's not going to do favors for people new to the theme to be introduced to it. It's not going to do much for people who like the theme and, I don't know if it's going to do much difference of like, oh, I'm more likely to buy it in person than online, whatever. I bought a few of them earlier this year online. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the things now. I hope people don't swipe your Bionicle stuff this year at Virginia. That was messed up. Okay, so Stud Sidious, Brick Fair Virginia already happened. I did not bring any Bionicle, and I did bring a few Bionicle things because I had the Bizarre Lego table. I mentioned that on a YouTube short not that long ago. I think I posted about that at Brick Fair Virginia. And luckily, nothing was swiped. So that's the good news, is that I was able to bring everything back home from Brick Fair. As far as I could tell right now, as far as I've accounted, everything has been, as I brought it, and nothing was stolen. None of the, not even the Bionicle stuff. Like I had Bionicle merchandise that was there. That came back a-okay so far. I'll look through it again just to be sure, because I'm still unboxing it from when I packed it up. But yeah, the Bionicle Mox that I had stolen last year, I'm still working through rebuilding. Just trying to find parts. I actually placed an order uh, a little while ago. I think I posted it on YouTube already as a really short video, not a YouTube short, but rather you know a video that didn't take long. And basically, that video had just two Bionicle masks. There was a green one and a red one, both the same shape. And then I found another one in my collection. I was like, oh, I didn't add this up on the wall yet. So then I added that in there. It was supposed to be a video that was like, but I don't, a Bionicle haul, but I don't use any English or something like that, just to be funny, just to try something different. And those two masks plus shipping cost me about $30. That was ridiculous, but unfortunately, that was on the better end of trying to buy them and from the same Bricklink store. As opposed to going to two different stores, which most of the options I saw were about. It's like, oh, well, at least this one has both the green and red that I need. So I was able to buy them both at once with the price possibly adjusting between them. So yeah, I'm still working through trying to rebuild Bionicle stuff. I was going to upload a video about a Bionicle mock for this year because I usually have a Bionicle mock posted around this time. I just haven't gotten back to work on that because I have a lot of other things I've been working on. But I did design it months and months and months ago and post it on Twitter. It's buried, I'm sure, but I know that I have the file on my computer to go back and build it. I could probably even do like the digital post about it because it's literally Homer Simpson as a Bionicle character. It's really funny. And what's better, I designed the rest of the Simpsons based off of that design, and it works. It actually works. I just haven't built them physically yet, but it would be great if I can get around to that. Pegasus set was rad for $50. It was great. I didn't even know they had Dreamzzz polybags until you made the video. I should have figured so I saw that briefly before the Dreamzzz sets came out that there was a polybag. I just didn't know the distribution of them. And currently in Lego stores, I believe it's also a gift with purchase because I have a second copy of it from when I went to the Lego Dreamzzz event. Not because I went to the event, but because I purchased over $40 something or maybe $50. I forget which. I purchased enough stuff at the Lego store, and Lego Dreamzzz was one of the categories of, oh, you buy from these themes, and yeah, it will qualify. And I was given a polybag. I'm like, okay, sure. I didn't even know of that offer until I received it. There are crazy new hair parts. It will be amazing of Reef Monks and little demons of cool headgear. Yeah, I do. I do agree. I will be right back. Brick Guy 42. I will answer your questions about misprints. Just give me a moment. Just have to run to the bathroom. But I will be back with it shortly into back 2. And welcome back. That was an easy run. All right. Brick Guy 42 asks, what are your thoughts on misprints? As long as they're like, I understand not everything can be done perfectly, and there's a lot of pieces that will have an error of some kind. The fact that they make it into the actual product, it's it's not. It's obviously it's not what Lego would want. They want to have their stuff at the best quality and properly tested and everything like that. Misprints included, especially because that's a very delicate area that something is being pad printed onto over and over. And at least there is a customer service where if you need to get that part replaced, you can. And they're very good at the customer service. I do really commend them for how they handle it. With that being said, I think they're cool. I think as long as they stay as a rarity, it's fine. The market, however, it's cool that there is a market for that kind of thing, but I also get it's not really a great thing, or not that it's not a great thing. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a thing a lot of people want to encourage. I don't think misprints inherently are bad unless it becomes a thing that's in every single product, like every single copy and manufacture of a thing, because then that becomes problematic for everybody. That's okay, well, we can't get this replaced because it's always going to have this issue or whatever. It's like how reddish brown pieces have the unfortunate history of being very brittle and very easy to break, especially plates, and sometimes bricks themselves. It's not a misprint, but it is a manufacturing error. And the fact that it happens so frequently and fervently over the years is an issue that needs to be addressed. I mean, I think it's still not every single reddish brown piece or every release or every copy of a set, but yeah, it is still notable enough that something has to be adjusted for that color, so that, or for the pigment, or the production of it, so that it's less brittle than other colors of other pieces. But if that happened with misprints, where every torso or tile that had this print on it is misprinted, that would stink. In the show, there's a little demon, the little nightmare demon that looks like a dog. I hope they make a microfig of him. Oh, yeah, I actually haven't watched all the TV show yet. I've currently watched 3, maybe 4 of the episodes. I can't remember. I watched 2 of the episodes at the premiere party in Lego, New York. They ran 2 episodes that weren't in the beginning of the series. I don't know exactly how far into the series they are, but they were full episodes. And that was literally the last hour of the event, starting around 9 o'clock or so. They had the 2 episodes running. They had a big screen that was put up in the store. I have footage of it as well, but I don't have footage of the episode because I don't want to get copy striked. But I did show okay, this is where they set up in the store. They had blankets out for kids and parents to sit on. My friend and I sat inside the New York taxi cab that's in the store that has 2 benches. We treated it like a drive-in movie. It was we're watching it through the car, seeing it on the screen while people are underneath, in the blankets and everything. Nobody was being blocked. And funny enough, the guy hosting the event, one of the Lego store employees that was hosting it, between episodes, he called both of us parents, and we're just friends. So that was funny on its own. Went to my Lego store today, and they had the Dream shirts on. Yeah, so a lot of employees now have this blue T-shirt with the Lego Dreamzzz logo and some of the characters on it. There was 1 or 2 of them that had that when I went to Brick Fair, Virginia, when I was working there. I didn't even know that was an employee exclusive thing. I thought it was oh, it's just merchandise they put out, and I didn't get to it yet because I didn't get to the Lego store when the Dream sets released, because it's the same week of Brick Fair. So I asked him, I was like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt. Where'd you get it?" And they're like, "I got it from work." Scooby, you taking my spot? I saw that. Bionicle Forever, I'm doing good. How are you? Um, I did want to talk about Bionicle earlier and a little bit throughout here because Bionicle Day was just celebrated. I got to see a little bit of the live streams. I'm still catching up on some of the posts and the podcast of Fire Spitting. I do want to catch up on a few other things. I don't know if I'm gonna have any Bionicle content published like soon. I've had a bunch in the works for a long time, but we'll see what happens. And then the Virginia already happened. I was just saying, I hope people didn't. Yeah, it was really messed up. And to be fair, last year had a bunch of other shenanigans. Some other people's stuff were taken. Um, but those people, at least when they've been traced, have been dealt with. For mine, I have no idea who stole it, for what purpose, what have you. It just disappeared after closing ceremonies. And I hate to beat a dead horse about this story, but it is one of the most devastating things I can think of as a Lego fan, as someone that's been in the Lego community for a long time, and as somebody who's attended many Lego conventions. Like, yeah, there's always the worry that somebody might swipe a minifigure or something off of a display that's unguarded or after hours. But this is something that happened literally after the public was gone and the closing ceremonies were still available for, exhibitors, vendors, people who had already been here for some time at the convention. So it stinks. Yeah, I would too. But I have no idea who took it or why. And at least when we have found other things that people left behind from last year or even this year, they were notified about it. And they usually had a name associated so that it could be claimed. Bionicle Day content is crazy, especially with the Song the Massive Power Game trailer. So, I feel like I've told the story a couple times, but they took about 4 or 5 Bionicle mocks that I had made over the course of like 2016 to present, or at least present as of last year. So there was a sea turtle that was based on the Motunui game from back in the day. It was mostly in green as opposed to teal because a lot of teal colors didn't exist. There was myself, really my sig fig as a Bionicle Toa Mata, build. There was a mock that I've had for a long time, and perhaps one of my best mocks out of Bionicle ever, called the Scavenger. That was taken, and that had a good combination of Hero Factory, G1, and G2 parts to it. I was really impressed with that thing. Like, I would love to build more in that size and complexity. There was actually I don't think New Gali was stolen. I might still have that at home. I have to look again. I've posted about it on TTV message boards, just posting about the mocks themselves and then having that as a footnote afterwards of like, this stuff was stolen recently. Unfortunately, I will have to go back and find parts or buy parts, to get them rebuilt. There was a brand new mock that I had premiering at Brick Fair, Virginia before it even made it to YouTube. I didn't even get to make a video for it. That was Spider-Man Bionicle mock. Like, it literally looked like Spider-Man with the red and blue color scheme, white webbing, that got borrowed from a couple different sets. And I borrowed some of those pieces from some of the Toa and Toa Nuva that I had. So I don't think I have those figures complete right now, or I'd have to dig a little bit further to find those pieces again, which is unfortunate. So it's not just, oh, you stole a mock from me. It's, oh, I borrowed those pieces from something I may not have doubles of already. There was the Jason Voorhees that I made many years ago. I built it at Brick Fair, New Jersey, 2016, 2017, somewhere around then. I know I've made video about a whole bunch of these mocks before. The only one that I didn't make a video about up to that point was the Spider-Man, because it was brand new. I literally built it like a day or two before going to Virginia, so I didn't have time to record a video for it at home, and I was going to do that when I came back. But I did make a whole bunch of photos and post about it before that point. Because ironically, at the same time, that's when the Spider-Man and Venom buildable figures were going to come out, or like pictures got distributed for them. So it's like, oh, I literally was at the same time, like, but actually built it as a Bionicle. You know, and people would compare it. Um, Yeah, exactly. And that's the other good thing I have as well. I don't build large Lego mocks in general. I just don't have enough of a time span or piece count to accentuate it greatly. The biggest thing that I've built up to this point was across two 32 by 32 base plates, and that was a Homer Simpson clones mock, mostly with a cliffside, and it's been torn apart for years, but it's also not something that I really needed to have like be bigger than that. It already had a good footprint as it was.